Hello, my name is Wayne Richard. I'm at Wayne Morris, M-O-R-R-I-Z on Instagram, and I own Wayne's Barbershop in Groton, Connecticut and in Mystic, Connecticut. I'm 48 years old. I've been cutting hair since 1990 and seen a lot of trends come and go. I started college like everyone else and soon found that college wasn't for me. My grandfather had been a barber in the Navy and had acquired a shop in Groton, and I thought that a trade would be better for me than actually trying to follow my friends and get into like a career in the professional world, and sort of fell into barbering. I started in retail when I was 16. I worked in restaurants. My grandparents had Mexican restaurants in my hometown. Learned how to work, make quick money, tips, that kind of thing. And always had a flair for money, wanted to make money. And going to college was sort of something I thought was the right thing to do. My family wanted me to do it. My friends were going. I was a little nervous, didn't really plan that for myself. And when it didn't work, I had gone out to California for a short time and found that barbering could be something for me because it would allow me to travel. And fell into the barbershop through my grandfather. Wasn't my plan. Back in the 90s, barbershops were sort of stereotyped for being, you know, buzz cuts, hack jobs. It was more about styling. Vidal Sassoon was hot. So my plan was to get into salons. And when I started working for my grandfather, one thing just led to another, and kind of gave it some time and honed the craft through traditional metal blades, and here I am. In all honesty, I looked up to my grandfather. He was a businessman who had made it self-made, worked hard, and coming from that aspect of it, I never intended to become a barber per se, but I always pictured myself being in a business. And through time and repetition, I stuck with it. It was always my intention to leave the barbering industry because, like I said, in the 90s it was not popular, and I was always encouraged to get into styling because that's where the money was. And you know, if you love something and you give yourself enough time to hone your practice, everything works out. And my grandfather used to always tell me that barbering would never make you rich, but it would always put food on your table. And that stuck with me, and I can say that I have had a very blessed life because of barbering. The first barbershop I worked in was John's Barbershop in 1991, and it was with my grandfather, whose name was Henry, but back in those days you didn't tip out the barber who owned the barbershop, so he didn't want anybody to know that his name was Henry and call it Henry's Barbershop, so he kept it John's Barbershop. That's a good question. And barbering has affected my life on so many levels. It's given me confidence to pursue other things in my life, whether it be relationships or just human connection with people that I never thought maybe I was good enough to talk to, whether it be older businessmen or even teachers that used to be my teachers in high school. The fact that they come to me and sit in my chair and I cut their hair, there's a mutual connection now, there's a mutual respect. How long did it take me to be stable? Well, I gotta say that there was something to be said for having a little bit of money every day to go home with. Your tips. And a lot of your tips are based on how comfortable the client is in your chair and how you connect with the person in your chair. Sometimes it's really not even about the cut, more so than it is the connection that they want with you. And they end up tipping you well. But in this industry, I would say between 3 to 5 years, you really get into your zone, your flow. You'll start to see the money coming in. And a lot of you younger barbers out there that are listening to this know that it's all about repetition, and it's all about staying with the focus, staying with the game. You guys are so quick to say, well, this isn't for me because I'm not making any money, so I'm gonna go try something else. And you know, with anything comes consistency and the belief that you will get there. No one makes it overnight, and anyone who tells you they do truly is not telling you the truth. And if you stick with it and you're consistent and you learn through these videos that you see out there and you repeat it over and over and over, within like a 3 to 5 year period, I really believe that you'll start to see the fruits of your labor. Advice to anyone starting out in the barber industry. It is a very trendy, hot thing to get into right now. It wasn't when I was starting out, but it is now. So there's so much information out there, especially with social media. You can go on YouTube, you can watch any kind of video that you're interested in learning how to utilize the steps. You can pull from different people. There are no racial barriers have been broken. Black barbers cut white hair, white barbers cut black hair. It never used to be like that. So there's a wealth of information out there. And if you share the information and not hoard it for yourself and connect with other barbers who are willing to connect with you, your vibe attracts your tribe. So if you stay open and non-competitive and you just stay creative, you'll attract those like-minded individuals, and sky's the limit. I will continue to do this for as long as people want me to do it. And as far as retiring goes, my grandfather left this industry at 85, and he's 96 now, and he continues to keep himself busy. For me, I don't view my life in terms of when I'm going to get to a certain point. You just live it, you be it. There's a joy that comes with this industry because we connect with people every day. And I think that as humans, we need that connection. And I've seen a lot of people in my chair retire, and then several years down the road, they pass away. And it's because they don't have a purpose anymore. They lose a sense of self. So I would like to think that as long as people want me cutting their hair, that I'll still be cutting their hair. To anyone out there watching this video who's thinking or aspiring into becoming a barber, you know, try it, ask questions, feel free to go to a local barbershop or travel to Europe or to another country and see how that barbershop works, and just get ideas and believe that you can become a part of it. And even if it's just to learn a basic foundation of barbering, or being in an atmosphere where the community connects in the barbershop and you're a part of that, stick with it, believe in it, and the sky's the limit.